Assalamu alaikum students. Today we are going to start a lecture that is the Debye-Heckel theory of dilute ionic solution. This Debye-Heckel theory is also called as a limiting law. This is Debye-Heckel theory for dilute ionic solutions, for very dilute solutions. You will get a question in your exams like this. In a dilute ionic solution, we have discussed already the points. This theory is for those solutions which are ideal solutions. Ideal solutions in that sense, their solution concentration is very dilute. Very dilute, they are nearly ideal solutions. They are very ideal solutions, and for the ideal solutions, you can say they are strong electrolytes. Strong electrolytes means they are completely ionizable. So here are the 5 points which we have already discussed, and this theory is going to be calculated for activity coefficient of strong electrolytes. Normally it should be unity, but if the solution is going to be concentrated, then it is going to be deviated from the unity. Here are the 5 points. In the first point, strong electrolytes, these are strong intrionic, they have strong intrionic forces. Second point, there is an ionic atmosphere surrounding an ion. Third point, the charge on the ionic atmosphere is opposite to that of ion. You all know that. We have discussed in the previous lecture that if it's a negative charge is there, it is surrounded by positive ions, and if a positive charge is there, it is surrounded by the negative ions. And we can say the atmosphere of one type of ion is surrounded by the oppositely charged ions. Next point, if a dilute solution activity coefficient of a strong electrolyte is unity, but in concentrated solution it is not unity. And the last point, in strong electrolytic solutions, the intrionic forces produces an additional charge in a thermodynamic potential as the solution is diluted. Whenever there is a solution, there is atmosphere is created. Solute particles are attracted by the solvent particles as well as their own particles. And whenever you are putting some solvent in it, it is disturbing the whole atmosphere. And when this whole atmosphere is disturbed, so ionic atmosphere of the solution will be disturbed, and there is additional potential or thermodynamic potential may be produced there. So we have to calculate this theory, and the theory is log Fi. The formula last we have to calculate it. Log Fi is equal to AZI square root of mu. You are very well familiar with the chemical potential mu. Zi is valency of ions. A is a constant that right at the end of this equation we will calculate what it is. A. Fi is a activity coefficient of ionic solution. You are familiar with this equation. Mu I is equal to mu I naught plus RT log xi. This is xi here in equation 1. Just make it sure. This is not Vi, this is not Y. This is xi. Xi is mole fraction. R, gas constant. Mu I naught is a chemical potential in standard state. And mu I star, this is chemical potential for ideal solutions. This is equation 1, and the equation 2 is very similar to that. Here is just instead of mu I star, mu I, and this is a chemical potential for concentrated solutions. So we can find out the chemical potential or electrostatic energy as a result of a change from the strong concentrated solution to the dilute solution. So we subtract equation 1 from equation 2, and as a result of that you get mu I minus mu I star is equal to RT log Fi, because RT log xi in both cases got cancelled. And finally mu I minus mu I star is equal to electrostatic energy, that is EEL, and equation 3 is EEL is equal to RT log Fi. Now EEL, that is electrostatic charge, is also equal to summation of Ni EI. EI is energy and Ni total number of particles there, Ni. So equation, as we know that this is a page got repeated here. Next page, for the formation of single ionic atmosphere. Single ionic atmosphere, you know, if ion is there, it is surrounded by all sides, up, down, right, left, all sides from other ions. And as a result of that, there is if a negative ion, positive ionic atmosphere. If a positive ion, there is a negative ionic atmosphere surrounded it. And this ionic atmosphere is dependent on the number of ions, charge of the ions, and concentration of the solution. If the concentration of the solution is constant, the ionic atmosphere will be constant. Charge should be there. So K is a thickness of ionic atmosphere. Zi is a valency of ions, as I already told you. D is a dielectric constant here. So EI is equal to Zi square, E square. E is a charge, K over 3D. EEL is equal to summation Ni EI. Now here we put the value of EI from the above equation, and you will get the equation number 5 as EEL is equal to minus E square 3D summation Ni Vi square K. Here if you see, here are some constant. Ni is number of ions per centimeter cube of the solution into Avogadro's number. So you can say Ni is equal to small ni, that is number of ions, multiplied by Avogadro's constant. So you can put this value in equation number 5 here, and you get 6.1. And that is further, if we rearrange this equation, constants on one side and the variables on the other side, then we get equation number 6.2. Here we have equation 6.2, which can be differentiated with respect to Ni at constant volume. Here are two variables in this equation. One is Ni, other is K. Ni is number of ions and K is the thickness of atmosphere. When you partially differentiate this equation with respect to Ni, first you differentiate it with respect to Ni, second time with K, and when curly Ni over curly Ni, then the first part of this equation before minus, that is cancelled, and you get the equation number 7 in this form. Now from here we will calculate the value of K, that is the thickness of atmosphere. K is equal to 4 pi Na E square over dkt summation Ni Zi square root of 4. And apply the power formula here, and applying the power formula, curly K over curly Ni, you got 4 pi Na E square, these all are constant, under square root multiplied by 1 by 2 summation Zi square over Ni 1 by 2. So this is the value of curly K, curly Ni, which you put in the equation number 7, that's our last equation, and you get the value of curly EEL over curly Ni. If you put all the values here, you get finally the equation number 8 here. Just calculate, every step is calculated on the page. You can go through your calculations, you can find out finally the equation number 8 here. From equation number 8, EEL is equal to curly EL over curly Ni at constant volume. And then you can put equation number 8 into the equation number 9 form. And then EEL is also equal to RT log Fi, as we have written in the last equation. So you can compare equation 9 and 10 here, and you get the equation number 11. Here the value of K, and we want to modify this value, putting on the certain basis, Ni into Na, and Ni is equal to Ci over 1000, or Ni is equal to Ni over Na, and finally you can find out the value of K when you multiply it by divided by 2, and you get this value of K here. This is the last on the page. And further, K, small k is here K dt. K is Boltzmann constant, and that is equal to R over Na. So we replace that K by R over Na, and then further we modify the value of K. This is on the next page here. And you put down this value of K in last equation number 11, and you can find out the value from here. You just have to simplify the question. You have to take out the square roots and cubes out of the square root, and then you will put down the values of all the constant, and you get amount value minus 18.23 into 10 power 6. This becomes equal to A. Zi square is dependent on the charge of the ions. Mu is a chemical potential. dt 3 by 2, that is a dielectric constant dependent on the nature of the solvent. T is a temperature. So these two values, dt 3 by 2 is very, very small value, and we just make it negligible. Then log fi is equal to minus a zi square root of mu. This zi square can be written in various ways. You can see in equation number 13 and then equation number 14. And finally, this equation number 13 is your final equation for Debye-Heckel theory. If you plot a graph between log f minus log f versus square root of mu, you will get the straight lines. First straight line is 1 to 1 is for univalent, 1 to 2 for univalent to bivalent, 3 to 1 for trivalent to univalent. So this was our lecture for Debye-Heckel theory. After this lecture, just your CRs and GRs just communicate with me for the next week lecture that I would like to discuss. Meanwhile, you all can go through all the lectures up to here, and then we are able to discuss the points which are really pinching you. You are not able to go through them. We will discuss all those problems, and then I will take the next lecture, because the Debye-Heckel theory has the three forms. One, this is for weak, very strong electrolytes, very dilute solutions. Next, we will have strong electrolytes but concentrated solutions. That we will extend this theory for concentrated solutions. And the next lecture after the word will be dilute solution and weak electrolytes and dilute solutions.